Why is the government supporting universities with large endowments? I've never really thought about this before. I've known that some big universities have multi-billion dollar endowment funds, but I did not realize that 658 institutions have approximately $874 billion. Now, that is nearly $1 trillion in endowment funds. When I dug a little bit deeper, I discovered that in addition to these universities receiving money from the federal government via grants, some pay little or no income tax and also get a waiver on property taxes. If you're starting to get a little bit irritated at this point, it's because your hardworking dollars are going to universities like Harvard that has a $53 billion endowment, or Yale with a $41 billion endowment. You might be like me and think, hey, it's time that things need to change. The cost of tuition at Harvard is $57,000 per year, and the president of Harvard, well, he makes $1.3 million a year. The president of San Diego State University, well, he has a salary, I believe it's a salary of $531,000, and the cost for 1 year of tuition is about $8,700. I'm sure the students at Harvard do receive a more prestigious education than at San Diego State University, but is it 6.5 times better? Do the students that graduate from Harvard, do they make a salary that's 600% more than a graduate from San Diego State University? I don't think so. I wonder where money from these endowments goes, and basically 48.1% of endowment distributions go to fund student financial aid, 17.7% goes to academic programs and research, 10.8%, well, that is used for endowment faculty positions, and this is the one that gets me. Nearly 17% of endowment funds are used for other purposes. Would it be nice to know what those purposes are? I mean, that's nearly 20%. I think we need to take a hard look at what universities have in their endowment funds, their tax benefits and grants, and let's have more students here in the United States benefit from those billions of dollars to get a good education as opposed to the fat cats and the Ivy League towers of the universities. One other point I found interesting was the investment philosophy for these endowment funds. The goal is to earn around 8% per year and pay out 4.5% to 5% to fund these various expenses. This should then allow the endowment fund to continue growing. A big problem is many have not been able to achieve that goal, with only 25% of 152 schools that were surveyed being able to meet the 8% return over the last 10 years. The other concern is if they can't cut expenses, if there's a lack of grants, many endowment funds, well, they're not liquid. Harvard, for example, had 39% in private equity, 32% hedge funds, 5% in real estate, 3% in real assets like gold and silver, and just 3% in cash. With all that said, I really believe the system should be reviewed to better the entire country rather than just the Ivy League system. I'm Brett Wilsey with Wilsey Asset Management. If you like these videos, be sure to give it a like or comment, and feel free to check out our other YouTube videos, our weekly newsletter for the latest economic news, expert analysis, and market insights.